Hey there, morning, TGIF. So I'm just trying to solve some problems. Me and Sam here on this 500i. So these 500i's have a crank sensor, and if you get an air leak, it'll make it not run. So you got to fix the air leak. But we discovered a wire that was loose in this connector. So this is the connector wire to the crank sensor system that can be faulty. So one minute it'll run, next minute it won't. So we're going to try to change this and see if it'll work. So I'll get back to you on that in a couple minutes. Okay, I just scored this old Mac 15 from Lee White, and I just put some gas in it, 32 to 1. Cleaned the spark plug, adjusted the jets. They were almost closed. So let's squirt some gas down and see if it'll fire up. Probably run better than some of the new models that are out there. Here we go. Okay, runs and dies. We all know what that is. Needs a carburetor job. It's got like a flat, not really a flat black Tillotson. It's a Tillotson without the fuel pump. It's just a meter diaphragm. So it's gravity fed from the tank. So one day we'll get her going. Show you again. Have a good day. Alrighty, a little bit of 500i talk. I was at Walker's earlier, and they were having some problems with a couple saws, and me and Simon hooked them onto the computer, and Simon figured out it came up as the crank sensor was bad on the one that he had there. And it's funny because one minute it said it wasn't, then the next minute it says it does. Well, what we found was the red wire that comes from the crank sensor over to this plug-in on the EFI, or whatever you want to call them, or the brain coil, whatever the new terminology is, control module, I don't know. Let's just say a coil. It's got a spark plug lead that comes off it. So where it plugs in, one red wire goes to the injection pump, the other red wire goes to the crank sensor. Well, that wire, we started going through the wires, checking polarity and whatnot, and we pulled this one off, and Sam pulled out the red one, and it was kind of spongy and moved out. So the little clip that hold it in wasn't working. So I guess what was happening to the customer is it would shut off a few times, but then go again. And what it was is that wires moving in and out of there. And you can't fix these wires or change them. You got to completely change the crank sensor unit. So what I'm saying with these saws, if you got one that isn't running quite right, you need to calibrate it on the computer properly and do all your check marks. I'm going to go there with this one on Tuesday. I've already been through this saw, looked through the motor, everything pressurized. It's all good. Done my basic mechanical job to it, you know. So now it's time. It's got to go on the computer. We finally got the computer working properly there. No help to Stihl. Thank you very much, Stihl. Terrible dealing with those guys these days, trying to get some information out of them. But who's to know something like that was going wrong with it, eh? You can be chucking parts at these things, and the parts are very expensive, but we're starting to get them figured out a bit. They're just a pain in the butt. And how do we get paid from Stihl trying to figure all this stuff out? You know, it's not under warranty, and we got to start figuring out what's wrong with it, right? But you definitely got to use the MDG1 Stihl computer system. Plug it in like you do with the cut-off type metal cutting saws, right? The TS 500Is, and you got to do it exactly like they kind of say. And one minute, and sometimes they tell you stuff. Well, it should be this, it should be that. Then you go running, and then it works perfect. So I think what happened with the one Sam was running earlier is he went through all the checks again, and it checked out okay. Then he thought, oh, no, use calibrate. He just went out and cut with it, and it reset itself perfect, and it just ripped. So that's the thing with the 500Is. You really got to have the computer for sure. Unfortunately, you know, some of these backcountry shops might not have them or the knowledge how to do it. And that's one of the faults of some of these companies these days. I'm not picking on Stihl. I am, though. They really need to send some of the service guys to the shops where guys are having problems and show them how to use the program. Some of us old mechanics aren't very computer smart. So, you know, you almost need to teach a younger guy in the shop to go on there. Then once he knows it or whatever, he can help you with it. Or once you get shown from the young guy or the proper guy, you're able to do it. But, you know, that's sort of the problem with me and a lot of other mechanics around that just don't know even how to use the MDG one or the CST, the Husqvarna one, right? Common service tool. So it's really important to learn that stuff, and we're starting to get there. I'm going to go Tuesday, like I say, and I'm going to do this one. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm going to do with it, and we'll see the hours this thing's has run, how many times it's been started, how many times it's idled, full throttle, blah, 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 top RPM, all that info. So I just got back from there, and I came back and actually started up Old McCullough. I'm going to fill that in the middle. It was a freebie yesterday from a fella I just fixed another old McCullough for him. And believe me, I don't want to fix any more old McCulloughs, only for family friends around the neighborhood here. So, not that I don't like them. They just take a lot of time, and it's hard to get parts for them. So, anyways, keep your saw with sticky dash rubbing her up. It's TGIF. Have a great day. Hope your Thanksgiving was great yesterday to everyone down there. Have a good weekend. Get out in the woods cutting. Tune your saws up. Go fishing, hunting. Just enjoy life. Bye now.